Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reading a book called Princess Grace. The blurb says, the girl from Amazing Grace who proved that you can be anything you want to, that families are what you make them, discovers that there's more than one way to be a princess. Grace had wanted to be a princess for as long as she could remember. Most of her favorite stories were about princesses like Snow White and Sleeping Beauty and the one who couldn't sleep on the pea. Some became princesses with the help of spells like Cinderella or Beauty. Grace loved to act out those stories, making her Nana play the fairy godmother or telling her cat Papa he had to be the beast. So imagine Grace's excitement at school when her teacher said there would be a competition to choose girls from her class to be a princess for a day. There is going to be a parade with all the local schools, said the teacher, to collect money for charity. And we will all have to flirt with a special queen. Ours have been chosen already from the top of the year, and it was her idea to pick 2 princesses from our class. Well, after that, all the girls were twirling in imaginary ball gowns and saying that they were bound to be the parade princesses, especially Natalie. My daddy always calls me a princess, she said, so I'm used to being one. This made Grace sad for 2 reasons. She didn't like Natalie and she didn't have a daddy of her own, at least not one who lived with her. The boys were pretty disgusted with the whole idea. Princesses are boring, said Kester. Grace rushed home very excited to tell Ma and Nana the news. So can I be a princess, Ma? She asked. And will you make me a costume, Nana? Of course, honey, said Nana. If you can tell me what princess wears, I can try to make it. And of course you can dress up as Princess Grace, said Ma. But that doesn't mean you'll get chosen for the parade. So Grace rushed off to get out all her storybooks to see if she could find out what princesses wear. Her best friends Amy and Maria came round to help. They didn't want to be princess as much as Grace did because Maria didn't like being looked at. Amy didn't think her mother would have the time to make her costume. So what am I making? Asked Nana confused. I don't know if it's a dress for Christmas tree, fairy, or a bridal gown. It's a bit like all those, I think, said Gracie. Oh, I don't know. It must be very pretty. There's more than one way to be pretty, said Nana. I suppose it depends what she does, said Amy. I don't know, said Gracie. What does a princess do, Nana? You tell me, darling, said Nana. But nobody could expect for wearing beautiful clothes and looking pretty. That doesn't sound so interesting, said Grace. She liked having things to do. Maybe Kester was right. You know what, said Nana? I think maybe you've been reading the wrong stories. Why don't you ask your teacher? So that's what Gracie did. Her teacher took it very seriously and came back to class with a whole lot of stories about interesting princesses. There were real ones like Amina of Nigeria, who led warriors into battle to build walls around all the villages, and Pinyan of China, who started a women's army. Wow, said Grace, surprised. They sound more like soldiers than princesses. They wouldn't wear anything pretty while they were fighting, said Natalie. I didn't want to be that kind of princess. But the teacher had found modern princesses too, who were sportswomen or scientists or artists. One had been a spy. That's a bit more like it, said Kester. You could be one like that, Grace. Even the story princesses the teacher had found were not like the ones Grace thought she knew. There were Cinderellas from Egypt, Cambodia, and the Philippines, and a Zimbabwean girl called Nasha, who was kind to a snake that turned into a prince. Grace felt less and less like being the pink and floaty kind of princess. She couldn't imagine making friends with a big snake and wearing a sort of fairy costume at the same time. Can't there be princes in the parade? Asked Raj at lunch. Why does it have to be just princesses? And why just the pink and pretty sort? Said Grace. Can't we have some of these other kinds from other countries? You changed your tune, Grace, said their teacher. I thought you loved fairy tale princesses. I do, said Grace, but the others seem more fun now. And all the other children agreed. Said the teacher. I believe we're going to have to think again about this parade. The mums and dads and grannies and childminders all chattered at the school gates, and the word soon went around about princes and princesses. You need to decide, Grace, said Nana. Have you made up your mind what sort of princess you want to be? The kind of that has adventures, said Grace. And I'd like to be an African one. Is there one from the Gambia? Can you find me a story? Hold on, said Ma. Have you been chosen yet? Oh, said Grace. No, I haven't. I forgot about that. No harm in being prepared, said Nana. Do you know any Gambian princess stories? You could ring your papa, said Ma. He might know, but Grace's papa didn't know any, and nor his wife Jatu. It doesn't matter, Grace, said Nana. It could use some kente cloth we brought back from the Gambia and make you robes fit for princesses. It won't be pink, said Ma. Will you still like it, Grace? There's more than one way of being pretty, said Grace. One day of the parade, Grace's school had the most interesting float of all, but it was a bit crowded because all the Japanese and African and Spanish princes and princesses, the whole class had been chosen to take part. Maria didn't mind being looked at because she wasn't the only one, and Nana had made a dress for Amy too. Raj was a Hindu prince and Kester was a sort of English knight. Natalie was like a Christmas tree fairy in a pink floaty dress. But Grace didn't want to be that kind of princess anymore. She was enjoying her West African kente robes. Are you happy? Called Nana. Yes, said Grace. I feel like a proper princess, ready for an adventure. This book was written by Mary Hoffman and it was illustrated by Cornelius Van Wright and Ying Hao Hu. Thank you guys for watching this video and I hope you enjoyed, and don't leave without subscribing and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos, and remember to like, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.